Peace, peace, peace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, it's your boy Vic Sling. Hoping I got another video for y'all. And this one is a book review. So I'm going to be going over The Laws of Human Nature. It's by Robert Greene. He's also the author of the 48 Laws of Power. This book is about 586 pages long. It has 18 chapters. But before I even get into like why I read it, what I got from it, what the book is about, and how I plan on implementing it, you can also hit the link in the description and have access to my book, Who Profits When Black Man Gangbang. If you'd like to support me, the link is in the description. I'm also going to put the link of this book in the description. My book is on Amazon, and I'm also going to be sharing the link to that book. Now let's get into the why I read the book. So before I read that book some time ago, I read the 48 Laws of Power, and that was a very good book. By the same author, like I mentioned. I also have his other books back there: The Art of Seduction, the 33 Strategies of War and Mastery, and the Daily Laws. So I like a lot of his work, and this work specifically. So anyway, I read the book because I got all his books, and I want to like go through all his books because I think he produces a lot of good work. Now also somebody referred it to me, which I watched the video first. They have a video on YouTube. It's about 90 minutes long, and they separate the book into two parts, like part 1 and part 2. I checked that out first, but then I wanted to, that's like a summary, so I wanted to read more in depth into the book. So that's why I read the book. Number two, what the book is about. The book is about what it said, right? Human nature. A lot of people are in denial that us humans are animals. Right? We are the human animal. We are animals with intellect. We belong to the animal kingdom. A lot of people is in denial of this. And I believe because a lot of people are in denial of this, and this is a major component of who they are, they don't really get to understand themselves, right? In the quest of trying to know yourself, if you deny parts of yourself, then you can't fully understand yourself. For example, you know how we say mind, body, soul. We say, you should have some type of spirituality, you should have some mental stimulation, and you should take care of your body, like eat good, work out. And this, at the same time, if you don't understand why you get triggered a certain way, if you don't understand the essence of why you do certain things and how you operate and how we are in tune with nature, like, right, we're literally connected to nature. So because we don't acknowledge certain things from our animal traits, our animalistic traits, then we don't fully get to understand why and how come and the ways that we are. So I could give you a glimpse of some of the chapters. So they have the law of narcissism, right? Some of y'all, a lot of people in society just learned that word probably like a few years ago, right? They had them in the chokehold. But narcissism oftentimes leaves a nasty taste in people's mouth, right? Because a lot of people don't understand it. They love calling everybody a narcissist, but they don't understand it. So the book just breaks down that narcissism is on a spectrum, right? So there's healthy levels of it, and then there's unhealthy levels of it. Just kind of like with everything else, right? Life is about balance. If you consume too much sugar, it's bad for you, but your body needs sugar. If you consume too much sodium, it's bad for you, but your body needs sodium. So narcissism is good components to it, right? But anyway, there's the law of compulsive behavior, meaning that we habitually do the same things over and over. If you heard the saying, history repeats itself, a reason is because we as humans, we have this compulsive thing. So we continuously make the same mistakes and we continuously repeat trends, right? They got the law of envy, and what to look out for. The law of gender rigidity, meaning that like we all have masculine and feminine hormones in our bodies. Of course, men have more testosterone and women have more estrogen. And at the same time, they also break down that like from time to time we have to tap to the other side to kind of like master both of these elements that live within us, or both of these parts of us. So it's deep. I think so. That's just a glimpse of it, of what the book is about. Like I said, it talks a lot about like our nature, and how we have a lot of animalistic traits and behaviors, that we don't even acknowledge, and we don't even understand, because some of us are either in denial of it. We think we have evolved above that. To a slight extent we have, but those things still live within us, and they play out day to day. And it's important for you to understand your animalistic traits, and when they come out, and when you try to suppress certain things, and etc. So that's what the book is about. What I got from the book is basically like understanding of people, and the traits and the envious people, um, the dark side. I mainly got to understand myself, honestly. Like when I read, I like to just look within myself, like how does this apply to me. So it speaks about the dark side. It speaks about how like we're constantly struggling within ourselves, um, between the light and the dark side, right? Like we have suppressed our impulsive behavior, because when we was young, we was more open into just doing it, right? Because we was more in our animalistic nature when you are young, until you grow up and your parents tell you no, and your parents and society tell you can't do this no more, or you can't do that, or they try to correct some of your behaviors so you can be accepted in society, right? um so which is why, like, when you're growing up and your parents tell you not to do certain things, we do it. We are exploring, we taking off our pampers, we're touching our private parts, we're doing a lot of things in our nature, right? um so anyway, I got to learn a lot of things about myself, also other people around me. It gives in-depth descriptions of why people do certain things, and how that's connected to issues, defensiveness, childhood trauma, also environment. So it was a very insightful book, and I got to learn, like I said, I got to learn so much about myself, and it will help me better navigate, right? It'll help me better, like, interact with others, because not only will I be able to, like, but I gotta constantly remind myself, right, when I'm doing certain things, that is connected to like what I read in the book, and I also gotta be mindful of when I see other people, in some engaging in some of the virtuals and descriptions that the book has given about them. So that's a way that, and that's a way you can protect yourself, right? I think a lot of people think his books are manipulative, and I think there's manipulation is only a problem when you do it, when you're using it for a negative thing. And I think the books is, it doesn't hurt to like equip yourself with the information that other people might try to use against you, because some people, of course, they use it for the wrong things. But I think it's important to equip yourself with certain tools that other people might be trying to use on you, to manipulate you for the wrong reasons. So that's also a plus, that you get to, you know get ahead of the game, um, when other people might try to pull some of these things on you. And how I plan on implementing it, like, yeah, I think I just kind of like answered that. I think more in depth now. I think I'm fascinated with people. I'm fascinated, like, humans are like a puzzle that you're trying to understand. And I know sometimes it's easy to just jump to a conclusion, and just like pass this judgment on people, right? When we don't really fully understand them. And in passing judgment, there's nothing wrong with that. I know society has taught us that, oh, it's wrong, we shouldn't judge. That's not true. Judging is also part of human nature. It's part of protecting yourself, right? Like if you're walking down the street and you see somebody dressed a certain way, it's hot. If it's, let's just say if it's hot outside, we see somebody dressed a certain way. They got gloves on. They might have a hoodie on and a ski mask, right? We're looking at them. We're judging them. We make a judgment, right? They look apprehensive. They look suspect. They look like they up to no good. That's a judgment, right? And the reason why we make judgments is to try to protect ourselves. So it is ingrained in us, in our nature, that when we see people, when we see certain things, we make a certain judgment. When we see people that have dirty nails, right? Like under the nails is filthy, or their wig look crooked, or they just got crumbs on their face, or they ashy, or their sneakers is busted, right? We think things, right? Like, again, that's a natural thing. To think about certain things when our eyes come in contact with certain things. So anyway, yeah, I think the book helps me the way I plan on implementing it. It's like, you know, when I see certain things, when I interact with certain people and they behave in a certain way or they doing certain things, try to gather enough information that I can gather. Because once I could understand where you fall in whatever spectrum, under what law or whatever, right? When your most of your behavior patterns connect you to one of these things that the book explained, then I will in a better way know how to deal with you. So yeah, I think it can improve my relationships, not just with myself, with my inner self, but like with the people around me when I see certain traits. Um, you can have a little more compassion for people instead of just jumping down their throat and like, oh, you just XYZ. I can kind of like understand like something happened in your past, or this is just part of your nature. And you might be, and you know, we could have like a meaningful dialogue. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. I'll post a link, and let me know if y'all read it and what y'all got from it. All right, peace.